And welcome in to the another episode of the Undefeated. I'm once again your host Anthony, and I'm here with Caleb. How you doing?
Doing great, Anthony. How are you doing?
Doing good. Braden?
I'm doing great.
And our trivia champ, Dylan. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
You just gonna dead stare at the camera the whole time? All right, so we're obviously live again. We're probably gonna be going live maybe every week now. We're still figuring that out. So yesterday there was a lot of news. I wanted to just really skim over NFL, but then a lot of things happened. Starting off, the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos agreed on a trade which will send Russell Wilson to the Broncos in exchange for quarterback Drew Lock, tight end Noah Fant, and defensive lineman Shelby Harris, including 2 first-round picks, 1 this year, 1 next year, and 2 second-round picks. And then they later released linebacker Bobby Wagner. What are your guys' thoughts on what Seattle's doing?
Seattle, I think they got better with this trade, getting rid of Russell Wilson, just getting those solid Broncos assets, those high picks, because they're not a very good team. They usually bottom 10 team every year, so they're going to get 2 good high draft picks to pick a quarterback. Noah Fant, who was one of the only good Broncos players, a young tight end. And then the Broncos get Russell Wilson, which will only make their team 7-9 to 8-8 or 8-9.
Caleb?
I think the Seahawks had to do this. They were just in a fallout when it comes to their franchise. And for the Broncos side of things, I mean, you missed out on Rodgers. Who knows if they wanted Wilson the whole time, but for me, the Broncos, they're not going to be good still, are they? So.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I think the Broncos lost this trade. I really think that the Seahawks got more for what they paid. Russell Wilson isn't a bad quarterback. He's definitely still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Halfway through the season, however, is where that changes, and that's also typically how the Broncos play. So I think he fits perfect into their organization, so they can lead them to under 500 season as per usual. But at least they'll have a big name.
Give us your thoughts also in the chat on what you guys think of this. What about the Bobby Wagner released?
I think it's a big move getting rid of Bobby Wagner. He's one of their better players, veteran guy. But I kind of understand why they did it. But as a manager, I wouldn't do that if I was the Seahawks. I'd keep him around.
Caleb?
Show some good mutual respect from the Seahawks organization and Bobby Wagner, because he could play and he could be good, but they're not going to be good. So there's no reason for him to be there, and hopefully he goes somewhere good or the Texans.
Dylan?
I hope that he does not go to the Texans, considering he would just throw the rest of his career away there. It caught me off guard. I only learned about this probably 2 minutes ago. I had no idea he had been released, but now I know, so I haven't had much time to ponder or think in depth on this. But I think, it's just maybe a good move for the Seahawks. They want to get some new fresh guys, some fresh legs. He's kind of old, I think. I have no idea how actually old he is, but
Mid-30s, I think.
yeah, it's a dude. It's an old dude for the NFL. So I think they just wanted some fresh, young, talented men on their team to start the season.
Okay. Brain, you have something to add?
Nothing to add here, Anthony.
Okay, well, where do you think? I'm gonna ask you this. Where do you think he's gonna end up?
I like that Texans prediction.
Oh God.
Just a team. A team that's looking to rebuild, restart their, bringing in one of those veteran guys to kind of get the rest of the rookies going. I think
agree.
That'd be a big move for the Texans, and I think that could turn them around to, 6-7 wins. And that doesn't sound like a lot, but as a team that struggles getting 3 or 4, I think
that could win the AFC South next year.
I don't think that they can get 6 to 7 wins with Bobby Wagner.
I think that's a big help on the
I think
defense.
maybe like
I think
8-9.
The morale from Bobby Wagner is more than his play. Like, it factors in more than his play on the field.
But you still have to take into consideration that it's the Texans and they suck.
There's a lot of talent on that team.
There is no talent on that team.
There's a lot of talent on that team.
J.J. Watt was the last talent on that team.
Not true.
Who else?
Can't say Sean.
Okay, exactly.
Brandon
Move on.
Cooks.
Next.
Brandon
Cooks is solid.
Cooks.
Well, okay,
Cooks is
well,
solid.
he's on the
that's a
offense,
top
and
15 wide receiver in the league.
he's on the offense, and his morale is not going to be boosted by Bobby Wagner.
Malik Collins.
Maybe 4
They
wins.
got that top 20 kicker.
I'd say top 10.
Top 32, arguably.
Not even
Alright.
close.
So he's worse than that? Is that what you're saying?
No, he's top 10.
Can
He's
we-
one of the top.
Guys, let's just
7.
move on. Who cares about the Texans kicker? No
So,
one cares.
Chime.
Nobody
Fairbairn.
cares about the Broncos either.
Before the Russell Wilson trade, Aaron Rodgers reportedly signed a contract which would have made him the highest paid player in NFL history. He signed a 4-year, $200 million contract, which was $153 million guaranteed. He came out and tweeted that that's not true. Maybe he will be playing with the Packers next season, though. What are your guys' thoughts on this rumored contract?
I think it's a bad move by the Packers. You're bringing back a guy that just trashed your whole organization. When they started when he said, I'm not playing for them next year, like I don't want to play, and I think I wouldn't want that around. I wouldn't want somebody to talk down on me and then just pay him a bunch of money and bring him back. Even though he is a franchise quarterback that has won them a lot of games, I wouldn't want that around.
Caleb?
I disagree. I would want that around because he's a 4-time MVP and he's the best player on their team. So I believe Mr. Aaron Rodgers when he says the contract is not true because I don't understand why he'd lie. But if it is, that's too long to sign him for, and that's a lot of money.
About vaccination status, actually.
Well,
so I wouldn't say Mr. Aaron Rodgers is very trusty.
I don't know. I kind of agree with Mr. Braden Fickle over here on his take, but I also agree with Mr. Caleb Weber about trusting Mr. Aaron Rodgers. I don't know. I don't really see a reason why he would lie about his contract.
Why would
it's
he lie
not like
about
making
vaccination?
$200 million is
I
like
don't know, but I
a
feel
bad
like
thing.
money is more important to him than his vaccination status,
Okay.
as it is to most people in the United States of America. I don't know where I was going with this, honestly. I think it's cool, I guess. I mean, I don't really, I had a little bit of hope he would get some fresh air somewhere else, maybe actually get on a team that can make it out of the playoffs.
Texans.
Definitely not the Texans. They can't even make it into the playoffs. But good for him. Good for the Packers. I think they're probably going to franchise tag Devontae Adams now.
They did already yesterday.
I didn't know that.
Good prediction, Dylan.
I predicted that actually after I saw that he had been signed, but I guess I didn't get to publicize that until now. I guess they beat me to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
All right,
say.
well, we're going to take a break from football, come back to it.
Thank God.
Noah Kutcher wants to know who is winning the SEC tournament for basketball.
Dylan might not like this pick. It's a big Arkansas hater over here.
Who is the top 3 teams in SEC?
I
right now?
like the finals of Arkansas, Kentucky,
I think
Tennessee.
Kentucky wins.
I got Tennessee.
and I think Kentucky wins, but I do think Arkansas can get hot.
Say
and win it.
Tennessee.
Yeah, I got Tennessee.
They're the 2 seed.
Yeah, I don't think that's far off.
They're like I
They're
think
a
they're
2 or a
4.
3. No,
I think
they're 2-3.
I don't know.
Because Arkansas's the 4.
No, they're the 3 then.
So they're 2 or 3, and I think they can play well too. But I got Arkansas, Kentucky in the championship, and Kentucky wins in a close one.
Yeah, I can agree with Kentucky winning it. But I don't know if Arkansas can make it that far to the final. I think they can make it to the semis, but
Well, I think they play Auburn, and Auburn's a very inconsistent team. And
Sure.
I mean, kind of so is Arkansas, but they've been really hot, so I think they can beat Auburn.
that's true. Yeah. Another question from the crowd. They want your guys' thoughts on Apple TV exclusively bought the streaming rights for Friday night MLB games. What are your thoughts on that?
It's news to me.
That's so cool.
That's pretty cool.
Friday night MLB games
I
are my
probably will
favorite, so
never
that
watch
that
one of
means a lot
those.
to me.
I don't have Apple TV, so I guess I'm never gonna see a Friday night MLB game.
Oh.
I do have Apple TV.
Sad to say.
And I still won't ever see an MLB.
That
Friday
is
night game,
that society.
because I will never watch an MLB game on TV.
Why do you say that?
Yeah.
That's
Actually,
not true. You
That's
do
not-
watch MLB
That's
games.
not the playoffs.
I kind of agree with that, especially
Or if I have-
everything.
or if I have bets on the game, but
Okay, well, yeah,
Other
I know
than
you
that,
are a betting man.
I'm a betting man.
You are a betting man. So,
I'm a betting
I don't know. I kind of agree with that. I'm starting to lose interest in the sport,
If you don't have
considering everything
something-
that's been
If
trashed.
you don't have a team or something on the line, it's just not fun.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
you,
true.
You can't watch it and just enjoy the game of baseball anymore.
It has to be like a certain type of day to just be like, you know what? I'm gonna turn on a random baseball game today, and that's not a typical day ever. That's like a 5% chance that ever happens.
Lower.
Only John.
3% chance.
Better.
4% chance.
I said
guess we're
better.
sitting-
I think
No,
the 3% chance.
We
was
said
the
lower,
best.
and then you were like, oh, okay, I
Better.
guess. Okay, I said like, yeah, sure.
Speaking
Move
of
on, Anthony, please.
betting, going back to the NFL, Calvin Ridley was suspended for the 2022 season after he was caught betting on NFL games. He bet 1.5 thousand and lost 11 mil, I think it was.
Why did you say 1.5 thousand?
1.5k, whatever.
$1,500.
Whatever. And he lost, I think, 11 mil.
Whatever
what
his
do you guys-
contract was.
Yeah, what do you guys think? What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I'm a back Calvin Ridley on this one. You know, it's not just the gambling. I don't think he has a gambling problem either. You know, 1,500 is not a big deal when you're Calvin Ridley making 11 mil a year. But I just think that, you know, he's out of football at this point. He's not playing. He's betting on his team. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You know, you're betting your team to win and you're not playing in the game. I don't think that should be illegal.
And the fact that they suck. There was no chance they won any of those games.
Well, I mean, he had
Realistically.
chances, and then he would completely change his routes. And when he caught the ball against the Chiefs, I'm not sure if you saw,
No, I didn't.
had a wide open lane to the end zone and turned left, and
I
the
don't
defenders caught up to him.
Oh yeah, I bet he probably threw that game.
No, I don't think
Be
I don't
funny.
think he was betting on those games. He was.
Who knows?
When he took time from football to focus on himself and mental health, I think that's when he was betting.
See, okay,
Because he was out for like 7-8 weeks at the
Yeah,
end
you
of the
think
season. I
he-
think that's what.
Mid-season, he
I have
just
no
didn't
idea.
finish.
I don't,
think
I
that's
don't care
what
enough
it
about the
was.
Falcons, but you know, I don't disagree with him, but I know you have little kind of like heart towards him because you have a little bit of a gambling betting problem.
There's no problem.
He has a little bit of a gambling betting
There's no
problem,
problem.
guys. He's a betting man, you know. So he just kind of associates himself with Calvin Ridley there. But I agree with like fining him, like suspending him for a couple of games, obviously to keep other players from doing that because it's like obviously a rule. But I don't think that he should have been suspended the whole season. I feel like that's a little bit too harsh, especially compared to punishments other people like Kareem Hunt or Ben Roethlisberger, Ray Rice. Well, I don't know. I don't know much about his suspension, but like those guys were getting like 8 games or less
Yeah.
for doing criminal acts to people. But he's just betting $1,500 on one of the worst teams in the league. Why? I don't really know if that's a 17-game suspension.
Caleb?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Caleb, do you have any thoughts on this?
You know, I'm always thinking fantasy football, so when this, you know, I'm thinking Kyle Pitts is going to be great next year.
Yeah, Russell Gage.
Russell Gage could be a flex option, but that's about it.
I feel like Kyle Pitts could be great on another team.
I feel like he's just found on the Falcons.
I feel like he's great on the Falcons.
I think Matt Ryan he's gonna throw for his yards and Pitts is gonna get his catches but
because they have no one else.
he's not gonna.
You're gonna
win
throw to
games.
Olamide Zacchaeus.
But I mean, now look,
No.
who else is there? Who else are they targeting on that field? He's going to be Kyle Pitts is probably going to be the number 1 target,
He
is he
will.
not?
He is.
So
That's
yeah,
why
so he's going to be the number 1
That's why I'm
looked
gonna
at
like him.
defender, or like from a defensive standpoint. Like,
He's still gonna win. He's good.
okay,
I mean,
didn't he have like 1 touchdown the
you think
entire
Darren
season?
Waller is
Yeah.
the number 1 looked at, and he still puts up big numbers. And I think
Yeah, but I
He
mean,
is.
I think Darren Waller and Kyle Pitts is a great comparison.
I think
Like,
you have a better quarterback throwing to Darren Waller right now.
That's true.
I don't.
How
I
much
mean,
better?
Yeah, he's better, but
So
Like,
much
he's better.
He's so much better.
but
I wouldn't say so much better. Matt Ryan was the MVP.
so much is a lot.
Yeah,
not-
what,
not so
6
much.
years ago?
I'd say like Matt Ryan's probably like a top 20 quarterback.
Yeah.
And
That's a
Derek-
lot of people in
Derek
front of
Carr
him.
is probably
12.
like a top
I think Derek Carr is maybe top 12. I think
so.
he's top
14,
He's pretty
top
underrated.
12, 14, somewhere in there. So not a lot. I feel like that's not a big difference, to me at least. My opinion. Don't harp on it, guys.
Well, you have to remember the age is also.
He's going to harp
factor.
on it.
Yeah, I am.
Play that harp, Anthony.
Yeah, dude.
All right, moving on. The reports came out at the scouting or at the NFL Combine last week that the Dallas Cowboys were expected to release wide receiver Amari Cooper. Braden, you're a Cowboys fan. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I am a Cowboys fan, and I don't think there's much harm with letting Amari Cooper go. He's hurt quite a bit. Yeah, he's a great route runner, but we got receivers. We got C.D. Lamb. We got Noah Brown. We got some studs. We got Wilson.
Noah Brown. You just named over Cedric Wilson.
Well, I named them both. They're both good. We just put the franchise tag on Dalton Schultz. Like he's a serviceable tight end. So.
All right, I'm gonna ask you two questions. I'm gonna ask you a question and then tell you something. First of all, who is Dalton Schultz?
He's better than your tight end.
Probably. I don't know who the
is.
Vikings tight end is.
Tyler Conklin.
Okay, cool. So he's a tight end, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Second of all, I think you're the first Cowboys fan that I've actually heard say that they don't have a problem releasing Amari Cooper. Every single other Cowboys fan has been head over heels, crying, sobbing, sliding down the wall, throwing up about this, and I feel like it's not that big of a deal.
I'm a big believer in defense wins championships. I feel like you can find receivers pretty easily, and so when you're wasting that much money on Amari Cooper, I don't think it's a good move to keep paying him, and I think releasing him, getting some cap space and building the defense up. That's what I think. And
as long as they go for the defense.
The reason the Cowboys were so good this year compared to last year, they had Dak back, but they had a much better defense. And when Dan Quinn came in and just turned the defense around, picking up Micah Parsons and some good secondary players, I think that's what the difference was in the Cowboys this year.
I agree, Caleb. Any
Couldn't
thoughts?
care less unless it comes to the Texans. So.
All right, move on. Just next segment,
All
I
right.
guess.
The Kansas City Chiefs franchise tagged their left tackle Orlando Brown. Tyrann Mathieu is going to test free agency. What are your thoughts on this one?
Dope, cool.
He blocks pretty well, I guess.
Great blindside
Alright, then-
blocker.
All right,
Wow, great.
But
That's all I have.
Tyrann Mathieu was a Texan for 1 year. Like, I don't even want
Go
it, but
on.
this one makes sense.
No, he
stop
was.
talking.
We'll give him that.
Just stop talking.
Yeah.
On the franchise tag, the Bucks tagged Chris Godwin for the second straight year. Let me know you don't care. What are your thoughts, Braden?
No surprises. He's a pretty good player.
I mean, some surprises.
Need a quarterback, though.
I kind of want to
They
see him
got
go
Tom
somewhere
Brady.
else, which is kind of boring. So,
Tom Brady coming back from retirement.
That quick.
That's not happening.
It's happening.
Kyle Trask.
The last one, the Chargers re-signed wide receiver Mike Williams yesterday on a 3-year, $60 million deal. Dylan, I know, again, you don't really care. So,
Not really. Typically, no.
what are your guys' thoughts, Braden?
I
Caleb?
love it because, fantasy football, Mike Williams is a great player. He can put you a flex option.
I wanted him to go somewhere else.
When you got some receivers on bye, he's a good flex option because Justin Herbert's going to give him the ball.
All right, now we're going to move on to some college basketball.
This is going to hurt Braden here.
Yeah, it is. Last Saturday, North Carolina beat Duke 94-81 in Coach K's last game.
They did. Not last game, last home game.
Last home game, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, get the facts straight.
What
please.
was your thoughts on that game, Braden?
I loved it. I loved seeing it because I think it fuels Duke's fire for the rest of the season. They blow a game to UNC, and while I was watching, in the time of me watching on TV and just seeing Duke lose, I was sad. Then I just came to the realization when Coach K came back on the court and he said, this is unacceptable. But you know what's acceptable? This season, and we're not done. And those words, they spoke to me, and I am, the second the bracket comes out, I'm clicking Duke until I can't no more because they're winning the championship.
Please don't put money on that. Please do not put money on that.
And they didn't blow the game. They just lost.
They did, and I want Dylan to tell me why he thinks I shouldn't put money on Duke.
I just don't think that they're a very good tournament team.
What
recent
about them?
years,
Well,
every
no.
single listen to me. I've picked Duke to go far in every single bracket I've done for the past 5 years.
And I can tell you
Never
why.
once in my life have they gotten to where I've wanted them to
I
go.
can tell you why this year they will win. Because every single year in the past, their shooting numbers have been down. They had Cam Reddish, who we all expect to be a great shooter, and he was shooting about 28%. This year, we have AJ Griffin shooting 48, 49% from three. Joey Baker shooting 45%. We got
Joey Baker doesn't even get PT.
well, he didn't get
he
PT
won't
this
in
year, but
March.
He's a great player.
He will not get PT.
Wendell
in March.
Moore is playing the best basketball of his life, and we have the defensive player in the ACC, Mark Williams, and I think that just I didn't even mention our best player, Paolo, and I think that everything just pieces together. I think Duke wins the championship.
Interesting.
Really?
I hope.
You're confident?
I'm pretty confident. You know, Coach K, I think that brings a lot of momentum to the team. I really do.
Obviously, it didn't last Saturday.
Yeah, they needed to wake up to reality and figure out how they're gonna have to win, because that's what's they got a wake up call, and they answered, or they didn't answer yet.
They didn't answer.
They will answer.
It's still ringing.
They're gonna answer.
It's still ringing.
All right. Well, currently, speaking of the big tournament, the number 1 seeds in each, I guess, division would be the West. I would have Gonzaga. The Midwest would be Auburn. The South would be Arizona, and the East would be Baylor. What are y'all's thoughts?
I hate that. Auburn. There's no way. They're gonna lose in the ACC, either to Texas A&M in round 2 or Arkansas in round 3. And I think Kansas wins the Big 12, so Kansas is gonna get the 1. But Auburn is one of the most overrated teams. I'll let Caleb talk about how Auburn.
I don't think Auburn is going to lose to.
You're telling me you think Auburn's good?
I mean,
they're
good.
3-3 in their last 6.
I'm taking them over Texas A&M, and I'm probably taking them over.
I'm not taking them over A&M, who's been super hot.
But
I feel like there's a little bit bias coming out of your mouth right there.
I feel like those seeds
here.
are pretty good.
No bias here. I think they beat Florida tomorrow and carry that momentum on.
Oh, Florida sucks.
Hey, don't hate on Florida. Colin Castleton's a pretty
Hating
decent
on
player.
Florida.
All right. The number 2 seeds in each West would be Duke. The Midwest would be Kansas. South would be Purdue, and the East would be Kentucky.
I'm rocking with that. Sounds good.
That sounds good to me.
I like it.
And then currently all the teams that have punched their tickets to the NCAA tournament: Murray State, Longwood, Loyola Chicago's back in, Chattanooga after they hit a game winner, Georgia State. What'd you say?
Keep going.
Georgia State, Jacksonville State got in on a technicality. Wright State, Delaware, Bryant, South Dakota State, and then obviously Gonzaga is in there as well. What are your guys' thoughts on the? I wonder if you guys even noted this. The Jacksonville State.
It's so dumb that they got it in.
I
It
think
should
it
just
is
be a
dumb.
random bid for a team that's
Wow.
like first 4 out.
What happened? I'm so confused.
I don't remember who they played.
It was
So
like,
ba-
wasn't it
basically-
Wright State?
No, it's
No, it was
Bellarmine.
I forgot who.
Bellarmine.
Bellarmine. Yeah,
that's it,
They're
yeah.
it's their second year in D1,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to have 5 years in D1 to be able to make the tournament. Which
Okay.
is the dumbest rule, because if you're better than the other teams, you should be able to make it.
Right.
So basically, they won the championship. So when
They
you win
beat
your
Jacksonville
championship,
State.
you're supposed to get in. So they beat Jacksonville State, but Jacksonville State doesn't get in either. It goes to the winner of like the conference, like before the tournament.
Jacksonville State won the regular season conference.
So
Regular
they
season
beat
title.
Jacksonville.
No, they beat Jacksonville
No.
State in the.
The team that got second in the
No,
conference
they
tournament
beat
won it.
Jacksonville State, and then because Jacksonville State won the regular season title, they're gonna put in.
They should just go to a team that doesn't make it. Like,
yeah, like Texas
like if
A&M.
Oregon doesn't make it,
Oh yeah, they did beat
And-
Jacksonville. Okay.
Yeah, they
and
beat
Jacksonville-
Jacksonville, and Jacksonville State is going
I don't know.
because they
Sorry,
were
Caleb.
saying they
Neither
were
of those teams should be in the tournament because
you were wrong,
they're both
Caleb,
gonna
and
lose.
I was right, so I want you to
They're
admit-
both gonna
I
lose.
admit you were wrong, Caleb.
Thanks.
And then Dylan, I know you gave a little fist bump when I said Loyola Chicago. Are you a big Loyola Chicago fan?
Not at all, but I think it's cool. I did follow their, his quote-unquote historic run a couple of years ago, so, I'm just kind of, following them.
You're a big Sister Jean guy.
A big Sister Jean guy. I love Sister Jean. I like that, though. I can't, I have to respect her sisterhood.
All right.
But,
Moving
big
on.
Sister Jean guy.
Moving on to the big leagues in the NBA. I think this was during the weekend. The 76ers beat the Bulls 121-106. Joel Embiid had 43 points. Harden also had 16 with 14 assists. The Bulls now, they're on a 5-game losing streak. What's going on with the Bulls, guys?
They're just losing.
Good
Just a rough little
analysis.
stretch. They'll turn it around, but they don't really need
Very
to because they're
Bulls
already in the
thing to
playoffs.
do. They're missing Caruso. He's the glue guy.
All right.
Glue guy.
On Monday, the
How
Mavericks.
is, wait, hold on. How has the Balzac been playing recently? Do you know?
No.
You don't know how? Do you guys know?
Part of the Balzac is cut off because they're out. One of them's out.
Who? Lonzo
I'm
Ball?
pretty
Lonzo.
sure
It's Lonzo.
Is it
yeah,
Lonzo?
It's Lonzo.
What happened to Lonzo?
So they just got Zach going.
I don't know. He's been out for a while though.
The ball is the most important part.
No ball in the
That's
Zach.
why the Bulls are lacking. No ball.
No ball into Zach.
All right. What? What? All right. Moving on. On Monday, the Mavericks won their 5th straight game. They beat the Jazz 111 to 103. Luka had 35 points and 16 assists, as Spencer Dinwiddie also added 23. The Mavs have won 11 of their last 13 games. Do we think they can finally make a good playoff push, or
What's
No,
good to you?
No, they can't.
past the first round? They've always been eliminated.
Well, if
could.
they play the
Yeah, they
Clippers,
could.
then yes, I think they're set. But I mean, no, I don't know.
right now
could.
they'd be playing the Jazz again in a series.
Yes, they could.
They,
Yeah, I think they could beat the Jazz.
you know, big Jazz guy here.
Okay.
Also big Mavs guy. So
Oh.
that's a
Oh.
matchup I don't want to see. But Luka in the playoffs is just not going to contend with, you know, how good Luka is in the playoffs. They're just missing pieces. And the Utah Jazz are just a very fundamentally sound team. You know, by the name Jazz. They got Mitchell and Gobert. It's just centerpieces of the team with shooters on the outside that can get it done.
Caleb.
I think the Mavs, looking at where they are, would probably search for the Jazz. Like they want to play the Jazz, and I think
play
they'd
the
beat them.
Nuggets.
Or the
I think they
Nuggets.
want to play the Clippers.
No, I think they'd want to play the Jazz. They're not going to
I
play the
think they
Clippers.
want to play
Clippers are too
the
low.
Houston Rockets because they're the worst team.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
Are you a Rockets fan?
No, I'm a Lakers fan.
What?
How does that work?
Now I can't really say anything. I don't have a favorite basketball team, but
I'm a
I can't
Lakers
really
fan.
say
But if
anything
you did,
about my
would you like
teams.
the Timberwolves because you're like Minnesota?
I do actually play on them in my career. I averaged 100 points a game.
Anthony's a Nuggets guy or
No, I'm a Mavs fan.
Mm.
Well, you see, I was born here in Texas, but my dad was a Broncos fan.
Whole
Colorado-
backstory.
That's how
Rockies or the Rangers?
Whole backstory.
Rangers.
Oh, so that's just a loss right there. You
coulda had the
automatically
Cowboys.
lost.
Yeah, but that's not how my dad.
Yeah, you
raised
really
me.
could have picked the Cowboys. I mean, not like either one of those teams are great franchises, but
Or the Texans. They're in Texas as well.
well, no one wants to pick the Texans
They're
because
definitely the
if you're not
forgotten.
delusional,
Well, here's the. They were around for a year when I was born. So
what?
They were definitely born a long time ago then, Anthony.
yes, they were only around for a year.
What was
The
it?
Broncos?
No,
1986.
the Texans.
Oh,
The Texans.
well, they existed. They just didn't have
Weren't
the
they
same
the
name.
Houston Oilers?
I'm not sure.
Oilers.
No, I think the Oilers
The
became
Oilers.
the Titans.
The
Yeah,
Oilers
the
were the
Oilers were the
Titans.
Titans.
I thought it was Oiler Nation.
All right, moving on.
Sadly not.
Perfect.
Then maybe they'd be a more respectable
out.
franchise
I know.
if they were the Oilers. But no.
All right, moving on. Yesterday, the Warriors ended a 5-game losing streak, beating the Clippers 112 to 97. Klay Thompson got 20 points, and they also had 46 points off the bench. What are you guys' thoughts on the Warriors? You know, they had a 5-game losing streak one year.
I don't care. I hate the Clippers.
This was the night game, so I didn't watch it. I was in bed.
I was watching Gonzaga St. Mary.
Great.
Go Gales.
All right.
Go Gales!
Go Gales.
Moving on to another game yesterday, the Nets ended their 4-game losing streak, beat the Hornets 132 to 121. Kyrie Irving put up 50 points. The Nets, they're back to 500, even though they're 3-7 in their last 10 games. What are your thoughts on the Nets?
130 points in a basketball game is ridiculous. Like, there's just no defense being played in the NBA, and that's why I just can't watch it.
I can't watch a full NBA game either.
It's just boring. Like, everybody makes, like, you just go down and make a three. You go down and make a three. Like, it's just not fun.
Like I like close games, like 2 minutes left, but that's when I'll turn it on. But back to this game. Great game. Kyrie Irving really did his thing, and he needs to get vaccinated so he can just play all the games.
Dude, facts.
Because I mean, the Nets will be better then.
The Nets
We're looking on the Nets
could
season.
arguably be better if Kyrie Irving got vaccinated.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
Why is there a screw in this table?
Not sure. All right, and then lastly, before we move into our game picks, who do you guys think are more likely to make the playoffs, the Clippers or the Lakers?
The Lakers. I hate the Clippers.
Is that the only reason?
Sound reason right there.
Both.
No.
Well, yeah, no, both get in.
Do you think one of them gets the last seed and then one makes
They're
the play?
going to be a 9 and 10.
I think
Is
they're
what-
both
like,
going to be.
They're
in the-
both going to be in the play-in.
Okay, but then they have to play each other to make the playoffs.
I think that they both get in.
Yeah, I think they both get in.
I think one will be the 7,
And one will be the 8.
or one will be like the 8 or 9. Those are two teams that'll get in the playoffs.
And then the Pelicans will be in the play-in, and the Timberwolves.
Probably.
Go Wolves, baby. I don't
Okay,
know.
well,
If Dylan's playing on my career, they'll get in.
100%. We're winning the championship. Not losing a game. 82-0 in the season. However many games in the playoffs. Oh, no losses.
16 if you swept.
16-0.
Plus 82.
So I'm going 98-0.
All right.
Put some respect on my name.
Moving into our game picks, final segment. Tonight we have the Suns and the Heat. Caleb, I'm start with you.
Nah, come back to me on that one. I got a thing.
Brayden.
I'm gonna go with the Suns.
Dylan.
Give me the Heat. I like the Suns. They're cool, you know. Got good chemistry, but
They're
I
not
just
cool. They're hot.
no. The Heat are hot. The Suns are just like a star. They're just
They got stars.
they got a gold star.
They got stars.
But the Heat are hot. You know, it's just kind of a difficult matchup because there's no like way to counter. Like it's just basically fire versus fire. Like you can't
So like who wins? In
you
a
can't
fight,
fight fire with
the Suns
fire.
or the Heat?
I'm gonna say I think the
but the
Heat.
Suns
I think the
tie.
Heat can.
They
I
tie.
feel like the Heat can just power through, take over the Sun. Maybe I don't know. I don't know much about stuff like
I'm
that.
gonna take the Suns.
I'll,
Caleb.
I'll take the Heat. Big Caleb Martin
You
game.
probably won since Anthony picked the Suns.
Yeah,
Alright.
they don't even have any of the good players. So like,
Fine. All right, whatever. Brayden, who you got in the Trailblazers and the Jazz?
Who do you got, Anthony?
Big Jazz, easily.
I'm not picking any more games.
Why not?
Just pick a winner.
Why not? Well, pick a game. Pick the winner, Anthony.
Take the
you
Blazers.
go first, Anthony.
Take the Blazers.
Just take the Blazers. I think it is.
'Cause I want the Jazz
It's the
to win.
Timberwolves and the Jazz.
It's the
not
Trailblazers and the
Trailblazers.
Jazz.
Oh,
I'm taking the Jazz.
Jazz.
definitely the Jazz.
Hello, Anthony. Your turn. Pick
Fine,
pick team,
whatever,
please.
I'll take the Trailblazers since you guys won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Free win for the Jazz.
Let's go, Jazz Nation.
All right, Nets. The big one tomorrow, the Nets and the 76ers.
You start us off.
Say the Sixers.
Nets.
Oh,
all
Nets.
Day. All day Nets.
You know what? I have to take a moment. I was fully expecting to pick the Sixers. That was on the tip of my tongue. But considering the fact that Anthony just picked the Sixers, I'm going to have to take the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not necessarily a big Brooklyn Nets fan. I'm not necessarily a Brooklyn fan at all. I also don't like the Nets. I don't, whatever. But why would you do that to me, Anthony?
Because that's who I think's gonna win.
I thought the Sixers had that game.
Warriors and the Nuggets.
And I was so wrong.
Caleb.
Oh,
Didn't they just play? They played again.
Yes.
Nuggets.
Warriors.
I feel like Anthony's gonna go Nuggets. I'll go Warriors.
I'm gonna go Nuggets. Yes.
Caleb, you just lost that pick.
Mavs and Celtics.
Boston.
Dylan, you go first.
Give me the
Boston.
Mavs. I can't
Boston.
stand it.
Dude,
Give me,
Absolutely not.
give me
I-
Boston.
give me the
too.
Mavs.
big Mavs fan, but Boston is so hot right now.
No,
I'll
Mavs.
take my loss, but I'm
Mavs.
confident.
They both are.
Both what?
Boston's
Yeah,
a different
but
type of hot.
The Mavs have been winning games by 2
Boston is
points.
very cold, actually.
Like the
Come on.
Mavs have been. Mavs beat the Kings by 2 points, and the
That's what's up.
But they
Celtics
were
are-
without Luca though.
they're blowing people out. Celtics.
Hey, yo.
Lakers and the Suns.
Wait, who did you pick?
The Mavs. Lakers and the Suns. I can't wait to get all of these right and have
Lake Show. You're not gonna get any
I'm
of
gonna
these.
go
right.
Lake Show too.
picking the
Lakers
Suns.
versus the Suns?
Lake
Give
Show.
me the Lake
Lake
Show,
Show.
baby.
Lake Show.
Give me the
Lake
Lake
Show.
Show by 20.
By
Oh.
35.
20
Hop on the train.
points.
Conductor
Can't believe I said
LeBron.
Nuggets 76ers.
The conductor.
Give me the Sixers.
Give me the Sixers.
Who are they playing?
Nuggets. See, Anthony's a big Denver guy.
I'm going Nuggets.
I told you I'm not a Nuggets fan though.
He's
I'm
a big
going-
Denver guy.
I'm going Nuggets.
Anthony, take the Nuggets.
Fine.
76ers buzzer beater. In double overtime.
All right, Bucks Jazz.
Bucks. Jazz. Going Jazz.
Jazz.
Give me the Jazz.
I'm gonna go with Bucks. And that will end our show. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks after
Did y'all hear AJ
spring break.
Klein got cut?
I don't know who that is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't
Oh,
care.
Have a
yeah,
great night.
No, AJ Klein, he got cut.
Goodbye.
Love you.